Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty show, the off season, where we're just doing one show a week on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. I just did a new intro. Hopefully, everybody likes it. It took me a little bit of time to do because I'm not as tech savvy as I think. But hey, that's how it goes here in America. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started with a lot of Steeler talk. The Steelers have a lot of free agents that they have to sign, let go, and decide what they need to do in this 2023 offseason. So I appreciate you guys for tuning into the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty show. This is the first show in the offseason. So there is numerous amounts of free agency in the Steeler organization. Do the Steelers sign them? Do they let them go? And there are so many people to choose from here. Defensive end Larry Obajobi. He's an unrestricted free agent. Do the Steelers sign him or do we let him go? He had a good season with the Steelers this year, but he was been injury prone. I believe he's going to have a lot of money to the cap, so I do not think that the Steelers sign him. These are all just my opinions, and we're going to go with that because it is. I don't know. That's why it's the off season. That's why we're going to speculate on all these signage, all of these let goes, everybody in the Steeler organization. Also, too, now this quarterback Mason Rudolph will not. I don't think he will be signed either in the Steelers. So Mason can go off to greener pastures and see if he can pick up with another team. I do not think he will be signed this year back to the Steelers organization. Inside linebacker Devin Bush, another one that will not be signed by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So anybody jumping on right now, come on and jump on and tell me your Steeler picks for the 2023 season and free signing some of their players for the 2023 season. And I do believe that inside linebacker Devin Bush will not be signing. I know they could probably get him for a good deal, but I do not think that the Steelers will extend Mr. Bush a contract. I believe he was a big bust since he got hurt. And since we moved up to the 10th pick to draft him, I thought he was going to be some kind of stud in the inside linebacking position, but that is not the case. In the last two games, he was barely even noticeable in the Steeler defense at the end of the season. This one here, cornerback Cam Sutton is up. I believe the Steelers will they will sign him, but he might go to greener pastures for more money. But I do believe the Steelers will get him re-signed. And also, I believe that they will re-sign Mr. Derek Watt, who actually scored a couple times this year and during the red zone and in the goal line offense actually produced. He produced on major third and ones, fourth and ones, and it's probably the best year offensively that Derek Watt had with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I believe, due to his brother TJ being there, that they will sign him back to the Steelers organization. Guard Jesse Davis, I don't think so. Defensive tackle Tyson Alalulu, I don't think will not be a Steeler. I don't think they'll sign him either. Safety inside linebacker Marcus Allen will definitely not be a Steeler in this next season coming, due to not his great performances in his career with the Steelers. I don't think he's been a good mesh at all. And I do believe that they will sign Terrell Edmonds. I believe they'll sign him to a contract. I know they're speculating, a lot of speculation in a lot of Steeler reports that Pittsburgh might try to sign his brother from Buffalo, but let them oh, hey Shane, how you doing? How about corner JJ I don't know. I don't know much about him. I think you're faking that name there, Shane. I never heard of him. What college? Because Butler doesn't have a lovely community college that they play football. Oh my God, that's funny. Now, inside linebacker Robert Spillane, I do believe, will be signed. Yes, how you Steeler freak? Agree with they would sign. Yeah, they would sign Miss Watt to keep DJ happy. Yeah, yeah. And look at this, Steeler freak. I believe that JJ Watt, he's retired, but I know if they could actually give him some kind of incentive, TJ takes a pay cut to get his brother playing in a defensive line for the Steelers for one more year, because I believe that there is a lot left in JJ Watt's tank. I do believe that. I mean, he was playing for a crappy Arizona Cardinals organization, and to be on the Steeler defense could put another feather in his cap. He's probably good for maybe 5 to 8 sacks still, I believe. But that's here or there. I'm just fantasy. I'm just fantasy drafting right now to who we sign. And Derek Watt, like I said, yeah, Derek Watt did well. I believe that they sign him, and they're going to sign Robert Spillane, I believe, unless there's some other teams offering to look at him. Let's see. Still, no one just moves money around. No one cuts it, just moves money around. Yeah, well, we need some positions. We need some people in positions, players still. I don't know how much our per capita against the hit is. I'm not really a money guru. If you see my bills, you'd understand. But a lot of this stuff is not big money, like signing Cam Sutton, Derek Watt, and Terrell Edmonds and Spillane. Yeah, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. Yeah, I'll definitely get to that. You run as I think Spillane runs a little faster than me still. If you see me run lately, it's not real good. That blazing 18.7 speed. He's good in the run defense. He can't cover a tight end, but we still need people in bodies for practice, and he's just not a. I know Miles Jack has been, but he's a little older. Robinson coming in still. They're probably gonna have to draft this draft. They're gonna have to sign somebody or draft somebody for that inside linebacking stuff. Malik Reed, another outside linebacker we got from Denver, tried to make an impact when TJ Watt went out with injury. There was no impact from Malik Reed. I don't believe he'll be signed as a Steeler. He's not worth it. Defensive tackle, Chris Wormley probably will be gone too. A lot of the defensive linemen are all old and not worth paying, where hopefully Isaiah Loudermilk can come in and Lear can come in and make an impact. They're going to have to draft. Definitely, I hope they draft somebody in the first pick. I'm always been a big proprietor for linemen anyway. Last year, I wanted a nose tackle. We drafted Kenny Pickett. If we can get him for a good deal, I know just maybe a lot of people from Tampa are jumping a lot of free agents out there. I know there's a couple free agents I'm going to talk about that might solidify our offense. But if we can get him for a good deal, I know Tampa Bay's defense was very, very good. And I believe we drafted the wrong Devin, because the Bush is not hunting anymore. So Shane says 15 mock drift. Nah. It could be, this draft could be anything. I've seen a lot of mock drafts where the Pittsburgh Steelers are taking the offensive tackle out of Ohio State. Numerous ones. I've seen a mock draft that we're taking a one from Florida, but they've been offensive linemen. The Joey Porter's kid has not been in the top Steelers mock drafts and the ones that I have looked at. But if he's around, I'm sure that Mike Tomlin will take him due to Joey Porter. Him and Joey, I can't. I've seen him play a couple times. I don't know. Now, the safety, DeMonte KZ, I believe, will be signed. A lot of these guys, it's not going to cost a lot of money, like Steele said, but we just got to sign all these components. There's a lot of free agents. Guard Trenton Scott. I know we need some linemen, but I think these linemen that are up for free agents aren't worth a plug nickel until we get to them. Safety, strong safety, Carl Joseph. He's also a free agent. He didn't do too much. Steele says deal's only 26. Okay, well, if he's that, yeah, we could definitely get some mileage out of him. We definitely need some corner help. Definitely. We definitely need a shutdown corner. So there's going to be. Well, that's going to be Steeler Freak. That is going to be the huge thing because on that 32nd pick, boy, can you imagine if we get an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman the first 2 picks? I know that Kenny Pickett's been on podcasts talking about he wants his buddy, the receiver that went out west. We're not taking a skilled player in that first position in that first round or second round. I hope not. We need guys in the trenches. Oh, hey, stop. Thanks, brother. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Thank you. I try, Stump. It's a hard gig. It doesn't pay the bills, but it's I try to be entertaining as I can be doing these Steelers shows and the other shows on my Experience YouTube channel. So that's awesome. That's and I think when I went live tonight, I think I don't have a lot of Facebook feed. I think they're all going to the YouTube channel where I'm reading it. So I appreciate all you guys tuning in and stuff. I totally appreciate it. And I'm going to get back to some free agent Steelers that we sign or we don't. Receiver Miles Boykin, the poor guy never got anything in the receiving department as a receiver. He was great on special teams. Not big money. If we can get him for a good price, I think the Steelers should sign him. Linebacker Jamar Jones. We need a lot of inside linebackers and a lot of linebackers, and then hopefully we can get enough to carry us through the 2023 season. And running back Benny Snell Jr., I do not believe will be a Steeler due to the fact of Jaylen Warren coming on and getting almost 600 total yards with the Steelers this past season. Benny Snell was he was okay, but he's not going to be worth big money. Maybe he can go elsewhere and make a little bit more because we're going to have a couple people in training camp. You never know who we sign. They sign a whole bunch of people. Now, I think that center, J.C. Hassenauer will be signed because he brings experience. They need depth. It's a good thing about the Steelers line this past year. None of them got hurt. They played the whole season altogether, which is a big, huge thing. I think our coach, Pat Meyer, is a better coach than Matt Canada, which I'll get to that here momentarily because I'm not happy with that situation at all. Now, tight end Zach Gentry is also up for free agency. Hopefully, the Steelers could sign him, but if they don't, they can move Connor Hayward up to second tier, second string. But also too, which makes me very, very upset when they have Pat Freiermuth in that last game. He didn't get any catches, and they don't use him in the red zone, and they need to make some play calling that has Pat Freiermuth scoring some touchdowns, getting some more yardage, and trying to be the top 5 tight end, which I know he can be in the NFL. That is if Matt Canada and his lovely play calling gets him involved into the Steelers offense. That would be great. That would be great. Yeah, Shane says Benny will be gone. Yeah, I do believe that. Totally. I totally believe that. But anyway, also cornerback Elijah Riley. I don't see him. I know they have to sign some people, but I don't see most of the people are going to be gone from the Steelers. I believe Cam Sutton. I believe Robert Spillane. I believe Derek Watt will probably be your mainstays at signing. Maybe some Miles Boykin if they get him for a good price. You got to see what they can all sign him for. Like Steele says, you can get all these guys, some of these guys at an economical price. Omar Khan's going to have to wheel and deal. And that's just how it's going to be. And we're going to go through the draft. Now, the Steelers have signed Anthony Miller, who I thought was going to be a great Steeler because I saw him down at training camp, and I thought he was going to be a good slot receiver, second-round pick out of Chicago. because I knew when Mitch Trubisky was the quarterback, maybe there could have been some combination because he did have a nice season with Mitch. I think he had 10 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards. He's coming back. He hurt his shoulder in training camp. He went through the whole spiel of offseason. They did sign him for a 1-year deal to get more receivers into that because we need some receivers too to help Pickens because Dante Johnson didn't get a touchdown and he was paid $36 million. So that is the keeper. So anyway, as I said, he was injured in 2000, and then they, in training camp, Steelers signed 13 players, and who spent part of the time on practice teams. So they signed that to get some people up, and they had some key additions: receiver Des Fitzpatrick, cornerback Madre Harper, safety Kenny Robinson, and cornerback Chris Wilcox to get some people signed up on their practice squad to get some people signed up for the Steelers. And they're also, the Steelers organization is also sending scouts to some Senior Bowls, Honolulu Bowl, and they were looking at quarterback Justin Ford. He had led to college in interceptions in 2021 with 9. He had 2 picks this past season. He's a transfer from Louisville, Kentucky. He's actually 6 foot and over 200 pounds. So they were talking to him and there was about 4 other teams talking with him besides the Steelers. But that is some Steeler talk of some guys that they were looking at these Senior Bowls and these other college bowls that the Steelers were interested in. Maybe they get him and sign him to a later deal. We don't know. Who knows? You know how the Steelers are. But and before I get on to some schematics of some angriness that I am going to feel sprilling up through my veins, I hope Calvin Austin III can make a major impact. I can't believe that he got hurt that super bad, but hopefully he can make an impact. Okay, Steele. I think they will too. Yep. I think that's going to be a major signing of the free agents that are with the Steelers right now would be Cam Sutton. He didn't have it wasn't a bad year for him. If they can get, I thought they could have brought Joe Hayden back on the other side. Akila Witherspoon was just injury prone and was not very good. So, that's something, Shane. But as we've seen on every Pittsburgh Steeler thing tonight, if everybody was watching, it's come down to the teal here that let's just get right into it. The Pittsburgh Steelers will retain Matt Canada. I don't know fucking why. Mike Tomlin hasn't been in the Steelers. He had some personal issues. I don't know. I don't know if he did his exit interviews from what I read, but also too, you're right, Betts. Oh, Canada. Joe, it's we're not ranking very high, but I Kenny Pickett has gave on Cam Hayward's podcast, which I can't get Kenny on this podcast. I wish I could, or Cam, or anybody. That would be great. And Kenny Pickett gave his seal of approval of Matt Canada. I'm not liking that. I don't think Matt Canada. I think everybody. That's funny, Steele. Yeah. Well, we pay our offensive coordinators and defensive coaches. We're about the cheapest in the game. I mean, like I said, I think Pat Meyer, the offensive line coach, is the best coach we have offensively on the offensive side. I know Flores had to go to he went for an interview with Cleveland. It didn't, he probably figured out I'll just stay with Pittsburgh because Cleveland's a fucking shitstorm of a show. But I don't know how this shitstorm's going to be with Matt Canada. I mean, going 7-2 in the last 9 games saved his career. Kenny Pickett in them last 2 games in that last minute, actually, they saved Canada's offensive coordinating job, winning those games, which we didn't want him to lose anyway. I didn't, but honestly, his play calling, I'm not a big fan of. His jet sweeps, I'm not a big fan of. I think he doesn't use the guys that are on the roster to the fullest of their potential. Like Pat Freiermuth the last game, no, not a catch. I don't understand it, but we are going to have to deal with Matt Canada. I would like to see him get Brian Leftwich. I know Leftwich. I believe he got fired. I've seen some stuff, but I don't think Tomlin. He's not at the facility, and I think they're just going to go with that because they don't want to hinder Kenny Pickett's. What's the word I'm looking for? His his play develop. Oh, okay. Let's see. The only thing I can think of. Wow. Well, it's pretty simple. Steeler Freak. All his playbooks are on half a page. But also too, the offensive line was the strength, and they need to air it out more with Pickens and Dante and Freiermuth. So well, that could be the case too, Joe. There's a lot of coaching vacancies out there, and that he hasn't been fired of today. Okay, well, that's probably why they kept Matt Canada, because then what I seen wasn't anything official. So yeah, would rather have Leftwich. Yeah, yeah. What do you do? How would you do that, Steele? Because Bruce Arians is an offensive mastermind compared to, no offense, Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is not. And I wanted Bruce Arians. I had to eat crow because I wanted Bruce Arians out of here because he was getting Ben killed. But realistically, and he wasn't. He didn't get. They pretty much said get out, and then he goes to win a Super Bowl. So yeah, Shelly. What about Terrell Owens? Yeah, I think that Chris has cost a lot of money. To talk his brother into signing, and he's still playing for Buffalo, it would cost I don't think we could afford him. We will probably get like some inside linebackers at a cheaper dollar bin at the dollar store, like Steele says, because Rooney's Bob Nutting. So that's how it is. Guys. That's Matt Canada is going to be our offensive coordinator. None of us are happy. I didn't see anybody on the chat room here happy. I'm not happy. I don't think he's a very good offensive coordinator, but I think they want some consistency, and that's why they still had Matt Canada, and we can only speculate, as we all can, what they're going to do. So this podcast here will get a lot crazier with Matt Canada as the offensive coordinator, because I guarantee I'll be bitching a lot this season about how we are ranked probably 28th in offense, and we're still scoring 17.7 averaging a game. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I don't think that even having Matt Canada or fire him right now and getting somebody else in there, because there's a lot of offensive-minded coaches, would actually delay or regress Kenny Pickett's ability to grasp a new offense. I don't see that. I think Kenny Pickett is smart enough that he can have another offensive coordinator come in and get him some plays and make him the franchise quarterback that we know he is, and get him some plays to get him some stats. But also too, I come on to some stuff today, like Detroit Lions had they had high scoring offense, but they didn't get to the playoffs. And then people were bitching about how the Chargers fired their offensive coordinator, and they had all those. I believe that was just a fucked up game. I mean, So I did read where someone said he. Well, yeah, okay, I can see that. And Mitch ain't going to be around either. He's going to ask for a trade to get out of Pittsburgh. But realistically, the Pittsburgh Steelers now are running the ball, ball conservative, eating up the time on the clock, which is good. I like that, because we can't have our defense out there. But also, too, guys, we can't compete with some high-powered offenses in the AFC. But honestly, I believe what I saw some playoff games this past week. I believe if the Steelers would have got into the playoffs, they could have played I don't know if they could have played any better than Miami with a third-string quarterback, putting up more points than the Steelers did in any game all season long. Third-string quarterback in Miami put up more points than that. So I don't know. I don't know. They will not pay. Oh, that's terrible, Steele. I know. I agree with you, but I hope not. I'm tired of them promoting from within, unless maybe I don't think that Pat Meyer is going to, but I heard he was calling some plays and doing some stuff with Matt Canada. Like I said, that guy is the offensive coach of the Steelers of the year. That's probably the best coach they have right now, which I knew going into the 2022 season that the offensive line was going to be a real negative thing, but it truly wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It was the receivers. The play calling was terrible, and the quarterback pulling Mitch and putting Kenny in and doing stuff like that, like emotional coaching, which is not good. So that doesn't win playoff games. Yeah, well, yeah, I know. And also, too, defense gives up too many plays. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. But also, too, guys, I've been seeing a lot of stuff of signing maybe some free agents who actually want to come to Pittsburgh. And one of them is the left tackle from the Titans who actually tore his, oh, man, he had torn ACLs twice in 3 years. He's a Pro Bowler. He's a left tackle. And he put it out there that he would like to come to the Steelers. And I don't know about that. I don't know if we sign a guy who is a little older that has been hurt twice in 3 years with a torn ACL. And his name is, let me get to the name here, Taylor Lewan. Taylor Lewan did a tweet. He was just, need new blood on the stuck into. Well, 2006, they were pretty good still. Yeah, he's 32. If you're talking about Taylor Leon, I don't think we sign him. I know he's going to be cut by the Titans, but I don't think he's going to. I believe that they're going to make a little bit of free agency transactions this year, like they did last year. So if they get a lineman, they won't draft a lineman, so that means they can get a nose tackle and a shutdown corner. Because you can get skilled players at later rounds. If they draft a fucking receiver in the first and second round, I'm gonna go off bad because we don't need. I know we don't need that. We can get them in later rounds. We can sign some people. We need offense and defensive guys in the trenches. So also they're looking at Isaiah Wynn from the Patriots. Multiple player rate depth, maybe. Well, yeah, but like if you can get these guys at a good price, I think the Isaiah Wynn from the New England Patriots is a better selective free agency signing, which could give us another year not getting a tackle and putting Dan Moore into second string into some depth, which I think he'd be better at than a first teamer, and do that. Well, they said that he might be our number one pick if he comes up to it, I believe, or the one from Ohio State. Now I don't know a lot of college ball players. I just see a lot of mock drafts, so that's all I know. But like I said, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. But I totally appreciate. I'm not happy with having Matt Canada as an offensive coordinator, and I know you guys are not happy too. I gave my picks on free agents that the Steelers would keep. That could be all up in the air. And like I said, I just want to get this show. I'm going to do the show Wednesday nights at 8:00. And I think I'm going to have to do some other stuff because I don't have a lot of the Facebook when I schedule it. So I see how the technological stuff on Facebook and it has its no free. Oh, Pace Jr. Free. Oh, okay. Well, I like them to sign Juju, but I don't think he'll be around cheap either. As a receiver, I like Juju. I know I'm crazy, but hey guys, I appreciate you guys all tuning in and giving your expertise because I don't know much. I'm just going and gambling here anyway about who we sign. We'll have to see. Nobody's been signed yet. There's a lot of unrestricted free agents. But I mean, the big thing of it all is Matt Canada is still our offensive coordinator for the rest of 2023, and we're going to have to deal with it, hook or crook. I'm not going to be happy. None of you guys are going to be happy. Yeah, sure I do. I think Juju can beat me in his sleep, brother. But hey, guys, I appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. This is the first show after the regular season, and I'm just trying to get all the Steeler news that I possibly can to get it out to you guys every Wednesday. So if you guys jump back on next Wednesday, we'll see if the Steelers signed anybody. We'll see if they let anybody go. We'll see what Tomlin's doing because nobody has any clue. But we all know that fucking Matt Canada is here for 2023, and not one of us is happy. I'm not happy. But he'll make good for good podcasting, I'm sure. And we're all going to be drinking a lot more 2023 when he has the career of Kenny Pickett in his hands, and he's throwing 2-yard outs to Dante, who's going back 4 yards. That's all I got, guys. That's what it is. So stay tuned. I'll try to bring out new stuff next week. I appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. We'll also be doing an unscripted, I think, tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully you guys like my new intro. It took me a little bit of time. I'm not as tech savvy as I think, but goddamn it, I try. So, hey guys, thank you for tuning in. Share, like, go to the Triple B Experience, go to Spotify, download it. Give me some views, get me some likes. Get me some United States people to watch stuff besides the guys from Viet Cong. The Vietnam guys love my Steelers stuff. It's awesome. So, hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Have a great night, and I'll see you guys next week for the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty show on Wednesdays, and I'll try to get some more information on some rookies that are getting drafted and Steelers mock drafts and all that other stuff. And if I see anything, I'll try to write it down and send it out to you guys next Wednesday. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Like I said, please hit like and subscribe and get the views up and stuff like that. Please do me a favor. And I appreciate you guys for all tuning in. You guys brought some great stuff to the show tonight. Thank you guys. Have a great night and a better tomorrow. And we'll see you guys next week.